Good time zone chat. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Let's try this. Huh. Why aren't you working? Stream Deck. I think you're looking for this. All right. Yeah. So then why? I'm gonna try something. Go back to here. All right, now my buttons work. Good. Greetings, gang. Timber with the early people. Welcome, Timber. Hey, Oil Can. Good time zone to you. What's up, Thor? Radiantware. Good time zone. Hey, Rob. Howdy. Happy Monday to you, Mama. What's up, Gar? Good time zone to you. Hey, Hat. Uh-oh. First piece of bad news. Flat tire. I don't know. It sounds like you've rationalized, stay home day. Sounds great, Radiantware. Sorry, everybody. Stuck at home playing Elden Ring. All right. Too cold to put on a spare. Hey, Longclaw. What's up, Happy? Thanks for hanging out while you can, Thor. Oh, okay. Well, there, I'm not sure how that tracks, but as long as the end result is you deciding to watch the stream, I can't fault your logic. Looks like we rolled a 750 last night. Nothing to re-roll here. I keep grabbing random standard decks to complete various quests and finding that I'm enjoying standard. So that's funny and kind of the point of the system. So good work, Wizards. Good work, Arena. You're getting me to dabble. I was talking before about the red-black deck that I've really been enjoying, and the one I tried last night, because I had something like green-white to fill, and I saw this Naya Enchantments deck, and had a lot of fun with this one. It's a rune deck. It's got 4 Rune of Might, 3 Rune of Speed, 3 Rune of Sustenance, and the quad Runeforge Champ, and the quad Naturalist, and quad Generous Visitor. You get a Generous Visitor out on 1. I mean, the God draw is Visitor on 1, Naturalist on 2, into Runeforge Champ on 3, because you can then, between the discount from Runeforge and the discount from Naturalist, all your runes are free. So you can just start playing runes for free at that point. And if you happen to have, if you have 3 runes in hand because you got lucky, you, boom, 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 you can just rattle them out. And they draw cards, so you often draw into runes. And it's very resilient to, I beat a lot of control decks. I beat a lot of sweepers because of Kami of Transience. This gave me this, plus even just the single layer were critical in overcoming sweepers and things like Showdown of the Scalds, and really just the ability to draw cards in the deck makes you feel like you can get swept and still recover. Oh, I don't see. I'm so not into the meta, Hat. I had no idea where this was positioned. Really, maybe I could have been aware when I grabbed it from MTG Goldfish, but I wasn't even really paying attention to that. But anyway, this has been another one I just grabbed from MTG Goldfish and was like, oh, this is a ton of fun. Like, this is doing cool things, and it can be disrupted. I mean, it's very, like, this is about the only interaction you have. So there's a Valorous stance, but that's mostly to protect your own stuff, the indestructible, right? So this is a very aggro deck, which I like, but it's not often you get a 3-color aggro deck that functions well, and this one really does. Yeah, good call from Hat. You can pick up the rune from library, graveyard, or hand, and is it hand? Oh, and put it in your hand. Sorry, library or graveyard. It's what's the other one? Anyway, yes, if possible, get value out of your graveyard. Esper midrange. I'll have to check that out. Is this an alchemy deck? I don't think so. It's just a standard deck. Traditional standard. Oh, it's in alchemy as well with better mana. Makes sense. Yeah. All right. Well, let's 1v3 it here. See what chat is thinking in terms of best of 1 or best of 3. What's our ranking? We're Platinum Tier 2. We could go best of 1 and try to get to Diamond before the end of the season in a few days. Best of 1 with the narrow edge. All right, let's do it. Let's adjust this stuff first. Thanks for hanging, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Mine was just jam-packed. Saturday was crazy. I got up at... Let me go through my Saturday. I got up at a little before 7 to meet a friend for breakfast at 8. And we had a great breakfast and chatted for a couple hours. Then I went to the grocery store. Then I came back home and I did my shipping. Got all my orders shipped out on the day. But then I went to my friend Joe's house and we played Ark Nova, new tabletop game in the Terraforming Mars vein. That's really good. It's like kind of a Zoo Tycoon, but tabletop would be another way to put it. And played that for a few hours, and then went and picked up my friend Dan, my friend Dan, who I see more concerts with than anybody else, and we stupidly paid a lot of money each to get tickets to see Wet Leg. Wet Leg is a band that has 5 total songs on Spotify, but Seattle is nuts for them, and their concert at a tiny venue sold out instantly. And then behind my back, they moved them to a bigger venue. That upgrade sold out instantly, and then the prices on the secondary market kind of went insane. And I was like, I really want to go to this show. How badly do I want to go see this show? And I'm not even going to say the price I paid per song for this band, but I have no regrets is the main thing. It was incredible. Partly because I was talking with Dan about this after. Everybody there either got their tickets the second they came on sale or paid a huge markup in the secondary market. So like everybody there totally wanted to be there. The crowd was lit. It was great. That's the best when everybody there is totally into what's going on, and that was certainly the case, and that was great. It was an early show though. They had squeezed it in ahead of an evening show, so they were done by 8:30. Then I had dinner with my friend. Then I went and picked up my daughter from the airport. Oh man, that was just one of those really full but great days, and my daughter had come back from visiting a dear friend and got to touch base with her again and visit. And anyway, busy weekend, but really great. What genre? Indie rock. I've played them on the song of the day before, but you're going to want to check out Chaise Long by Wet Leg. Somebody linked that up, but thank you, Timber. I'm allowed to tease, Robert. I mean, it's nice. It's 9:20. It's 9:20 my time, and I came on air at 9:10. 10 minutes of me pre-draft is like nothing. So you suck it, sir. Here is your money back. But let's go. Get to draft view. Ooh, this time I'm just going to keep it. Thanks. Completed. Blah, blah, blah. Operation successful. Thanks, Hat. That's my favorite. Well, is that my favorite song of 2021? Maybe it's VBS by Lucy Dacus, but it's up there. Top couple of songs from. Well, this card got me yesterday, and I'm going to take it. This is the easy second pick here. Twisted Embrace is good, but I'd rather have Life, and Circuit Mender is nice as a colorless start, but the Embrace, Life, and Farewell are too powerful to start just to be generic, just to be 100% play. And this can just win games. I had one of those spots. My deck did perfectly. I curved out with my mono red artifact deck and just exploded onto the board. And they just got a couple of speed bumps and then cast Farewell to Plague Wind me. And then they won that game. Can you believe it? They cast a 6-mana Plague Wind and won? I don't know. It's crazy. Well, Norika is a color match. Is Wanderer's Intervention better as a white card? This is a really bad pack. I almost want to take the Cove. I'm not blue-white very often, but it's not bad to have splash potential, even if we're not straight blue-white. Might not even play the Farewell. If not the land, then what? It's got to be like the Intervention. Maybe I think I will take Intervention. This is a control-ish card, and this type of removal is better as a control card than an aggro card, and that's because if you're using this on offense, something has been blocked. And ideally, aggro decks want removal that removes blockers, not that allows blocks and then punishes them. Yeah, don't marry the Wrath, but that was a bad pack, right? I mean, this was among the best cards in the pack. But like here we can take Twisted Embrace and not just go to the Shrine because it's white. Although this is my favorite Shrine, that's for sure. It can, if you drop it after Farewelling and cleaning a board, it can just overwhelm and win a long game. But Embrace, very good. I don't know. Anybody on Embrace on pure power over the color match here? Yeah, this cuts black for... Yeah, I guess I'll just take best card to, again, try and not stay married here. Intervention is fine. Farewell is awesome. But now, look, there's another one, and we have an Arrest. So white seems open and worth pursuing here. Do we just want the arrest, or do we want the go shintai? Now, arrest I like better in aggro because you can get really punished for removing a creature in a way that leaves it on the battlefield. Whereas in aggro, it clears a blocker, so you get damage through, and you're trying to end the game before they can leverage the fact that their creature is still on the battlefield. So I think I am going to go with the Shrine here. I think I've talked myself into that. I think this is fine in the format, but it does get punished, and it's going to get extra punished by a deck looking to go long. So let's take a go long piece. And speed bump ahoy, right? Befriending the Moths, very aggro. If you're on defense, you're 3 turns away from getting your blocker, right? Oh, this is so bad on D. Whereas this is exactly what you want in a speed bump world where you're looking to farewell yourself to some big advantage. Kami is here and could play if we get some artifact counts up, but also you kind of want to lean away. Like if we can be artifact free, we can really punish the decks that are playing artifacts. So we'll keep that in mind too. Clawing Torment plays. Safekeeping and Antiquity, we're best of 1, so that should be kept in mind. Guidebot, a little clunky, but I just said I was going to try to avoid artifacts, but this is a pretty controlling card. If you do get to farewell to reset things and give yourself a deep breath, dropping this, and even just paying 3 a turn to draw a card can put you pretty far ahead. But I am eyeing these, with these still being here, I'm actually going to go with my gut here and take the safekeeping. Guidebot is very tempting, but we're headed, like, green-white is super powerful, and if we happen to get into it, and, like, here's a land to support that, I'm definitely taking this land here. The Spirited Companion being an enchantment creature and an important part of that whole package, and the Shrine being enchantment, makes me want to lean a little green, and then we can be more in the enchantment realm and not really worry about artifacts. So taking the sands here makes a lot of sense to me. Season of Renewal is more in that direction. No white here, but pretty married to white now. This is a Network Disruptor, probably the best card in this pack, suggesting blue's pretty open, but Network Disruptor is not really interacting with the rest of our picks in a way that makes it good here, and I don't see us ending up in any lane that makes sense by taking this when we have a renewal, which is exactly our reward for what I'm trying to do if green-white is open. But, this makes me nervous too. We're not really seeing payoffs here for the lane we landed in. So Circuit Hacker is also good. So maybe at this point, maybe I do need to just, I don't like this at all, really, especially when we're not trying to be aggro with the shell we've got going. I don't see, I'm not exactly sure how a blue deck emerges from here. Yeah, I guess Brute Suit can be activated by Companion and stuff. Maybe I should have taken the Brute Suit. That's fair. But also, this is signally, so I figured I would just listen to the... Exactly, Hacker Wield, right? So I'm just trying to... That struck me, so I just went with that observation. But Emergence here over Stalker. Stalker is pretty aggro. Emergence is a good turn 5 play to potentially set up, to that stabilization play on 5 that lets you, and it's got Vigilance, so you can attack and block. Incision good with Doggy. I'll have to think about that next time I see one, but I obviously missed that there. Again, I just don't like the Katana, even though it's white. I'd rather just even take a Familiar in case something emerges in this blue lane. Okay, you're talking about this. Yeah. I'm going to take Boon, though, although this is, this is just a combat trick. Right, I don't like this yet, and I don't think we're blue. I'm hedging there a little bit, but I really don't think we're there. I will take the Brute Suit here, though, over the combat trick. Between Doggies and Go Shintai, we can crew up a one crew pretty nicely. I just am trying to avoid the type. Well, there's a reason to stick to the green lane. Selfless Samurai, also great. Wouldn't mind wheeling this one. What else might we get out of this pack on the way back? I don't think the Samurai will still be there. If so, victory lap for us, it means white is wide open, right? If this were something like this were to wheel. So I don't expect that. But Sunblade Samurai is my expectation. I hope we get that back. And then Wind Scarred Crag, if that wheeled, we'd have a lane into splashing some red. But yeah, pretty clean. Do that red thing. This always, oh, it's so tempting. I'm white. I was just talking about a red. Oh, this is just a, yeah, this is not very impressive as a rare for especially two colored. Uncharted Haven over the safekeeping, but Geothermal Kami is combo-rific. Not amazingly for us yet. We don't really have the, I mean, it does bring back the companion, which is good enough. I think we can cut that and that. I think we know where we're at here. And yeah, I'm going to take first Kami. We don't have amazing synergies with it yet, but we're looking for them. Oh, there's this Skyblessed Samurai. I've never even really played this one before. Do we have, we might wheel that. If nobody else is really doing this thing, that's a lot to pay for a 4/4 flyer. And it's one big flyer for one card. This can just be two cards. So I'm going to take the thing that just has, frankly, higher upside on the value it can provide to the deck. An enchantment 1-drop, green creature that helps us make it to a long game. Yes, please. The hover bike is interesting too, but again, on the artifacts, I don't mind like a terrarium artifact because this is something that you don't even need to stick around. But this is a pretty clean Fang pick here. A little concerned at the lack of white, although this is a density level. I mean, obviously the rare or mythic is gone. But it's a little concerned because, yeah, maybe this might be the only white card in the pack. That just happens sometimes. There's a Sunblade Samurai a little early than I would prefer, but it looks to be the pick unless I want to go Bearer. Maybe if I think I'm going to wheel the other Samurai, I can take the Bearer here. Iron Apprentice, also interesting, but less so in this deck. It's not the plan, but this is another mana sink late game. If we're trying to make it to the late game, it's nice to have things to do there. And Bearer is another way at common with a generically playable set of stats to take over a long game sometimes. And I'm going to do that over Sunblade, which I find to be just like, it's good. Ah, man. Yeah, it's also an enchantment, exactly. So is Sunblade, so that wasn't really a factor for me there. Another safekeeping opportunity, another emergence. Moth Rider and Merge Keeper are what jump out to me, though. I'm going to take Merge Keeper. It gives us we have some things already that are pretty decent to ramp to in Emergence, Kura, and Farewell. And yeah, Oath would be another fantastic thing to ramp to if we get there. The white is really dried up. I practically want to look. I mean, we could leave the white lane and we're like, yeah, even take this, and red seems a bit open. But I think we take Tanuki here. It's a 6-drop. It ramps and fixes and splashes and is an enchantment. So this is kind of a better in our deck than most type card. But this trio of red cards is somewhat interesting, given that we're picking up more ability to splash here. Commune, fine. Well, it's only pack 2. We'll get an Oath in pack 3, but it's becoming less and less likely for pack 2, right? Emergence number 2. Blue splash potential. We do have some. We thought blue was pretty open. You know, I'm going to take this blue splash potential. We're getting a lot of playables here. We're not short on playables, so let's give ourselves those outs, and then we can take Haven and again be really set up between Haven Oh, now this is, I was saying maybe this land comes back. These communes are fine, especially in a green-white enchants. I keep passing these, but I would just rather have these avenues to good splashes here. You can just about splash anything red or blue at this point. Black is a bit of a stretch, but red and blue, easy splash now. I don't think koi is something we're looking to splash, and that's not a big deal. We might just need curve fillers, so I'm going to take a grizzly bear, effectively a grizzly bear for us, and hope we don't have to play it. But I don't see the 3/3 flyer as a reason to splash blue, so I'm not going to take that. None of these are going to make our deck all vault progress. All right, Moth Rider plays. Captain, again, probably not something we want to splash in a control deck. This is a aggro top end, samurai, you know, attack, solo attack top end. Note that I hoped that the plane cycling samurai would come back around, and it did not. And we're going to take Selfless here, though, I think, over Rebuke or Tails. Selfless just does a lot of work, and especially in a Farewell. Oh, Farewell is Exile, never mind. I was thinking Classic Sweeper. Classic Sweeper, awesome. You get to destroy all creatures except your best. Like, that's a sicko combo with legit destroy all creatures. Unfortunately, our Sweeper does not combo. But we're taking it. Here's an Arrest we could grab, but I almost just want to fade. Like, this is gonna hit fewer targets than Arrest, but it's gonna hit a lot of the important ones, and some of them before they become the creatures, and they get more value out of them. And it just does the thing and is done, as opposed to, again, control deck sitting there and letting them find a way to get value out of it. So yeah, I think I've talked myself into an Antiquity here in best of one. Befriending is not of interest to me. Again, it's way more of a aggro card. We could splash a Specialist for some bounce, or this mech isn't the worst. If you have good rules text, it combos with some stuff better than others, but I almost want a second fade. I don't know if we play a second. I really wanted that first, but it really drops off how much I want a second. You're gonna happily play two of these in best of one with no rummaging. I almost want like a network terminal for splashing ramping. I'm actually gonna do that. Maybe that's not right. Maybe I'm not gonna play either and it doesn't really matter. It just felt like it wasn't a very good pack, to be honest. This is not a good rare. This isn't, I mean, if we double splashed, I would play a Swift Water Cliffs, but that doesn't look like what's going to happen here. What a bad pack. Trainee? Like, there's nothing. I don't think anything here really matters unless we're going to try to find our way back to black somehow. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take that and be like, whatever. Decoy plays in anything, at least, but we're not. We ended up clearly fighting for this lane somehow. Yeah. The green's been pretty open, but white not really open at all. But it's also too late to do much about that. We just don't have density enough in any other color to like become a different secondary color. Splash Spring is interesting, but I don't know if I love that for this deck. I'd rather just have a speed bump that draws me a card. So I'm going to do that. Hey, Tron. Welcome. We'll take another safekeeping, safekeeping, or maybe just on another season. How many enchantments do we have now? Only 6. See, yeah, we did not get there on being an enchantment deck. So we actually don't want another one of these if we want the first. So that probably means safekeeping, or yeah, I guess I took a safekeeping. This deck has, or this draft has gone very poorly towards the end. Maybe I missed the off ramp of white and married the farewell too soon. Certainly feeling that way now, but hindsight is pretty good at that. We'll just take the rare. I'm not playing that Fang. Companion could play, but yeah, I guess we'll take another Fade. A lot of the creatures in this, a lot of the flyers in this set are enchantments. A lot of them are sagas or just enchantment flyers, so that makes some sense to me to also be able to pick off some of the flying that we might be weak to. Shrine Steward, do we have any auras? We have only one aura. I'm sure which it is, so that's not for us. Let's take a suit we're not going to play over a hacker we're not going to play. We could almost splash the Twisted Embrace. Like if we had one of a black land, we'd consider it. Sphere, Offering, not in best of 1, especially with 2 fades. Specialist and Koi still here. So yeah, we saw that blue was open pretty early and maybe should have just abandoned ship. But even at the time, like we just had 3 or 4 white cards, and it felt tough to get away from white from that seat. But Specialist might be worth splashing here. We'll see where we're at. We're at that bug still being a thing. Great. Yeah, no, I didn't want to channel a crab to counter anything. Don't worry about it, Mech Hanger. Welcome to the team. Yeah, we figured out that white was not open too late to do anything about it. Or at least I should say I did. Maybe there are people in chat who would have navigated this a little more successfully. I think the deck is fine. It's just we were in a hotly contested color, and as our draft pod member is saying, we had a white drafter directly upstream to us, which is not where you want to be. But the deck isn't terrible. Does it need the blue splash? Nah, we need cuts anyway. Let's just cut the blue splash. And I don't think there's no red to splash. So we got the ability to splash, but no need. Our mana is going to be nice because this Haven is just a fancy Blossoming Sands that makes us pick which side we want. And between the Terminal and the Keeper and the best of 1, and the Tanuki, we could go to 16, just do this and call it good, especially because it's still a 9-9 split. One of the big penalties, one of the big costs of going to 16 lands is simply having fewer possible producers of a given color. And when you got a couple of dual lands in a 2-color deck, you can shave to 16 and still have 9 sources of each available. But yeah, we can cut the Terminal. For cutting the Terminal, what are we putting back in? A land, a suit, or a splash? Because that's the thing. We've got the nature of how contested the colors was left us very low on playables. And I just don't love what blue is offering us in terms of splashability. And at least networked, I guess we don't have other artifact. Like, yeah, I should get rid of this. You're right. First of all, I want to be having the option to exile all artifacts, but mainly a huge value point of the network terminal is the second mode. And there's a part of me that is a control deck mindset. I want to do that second mode. I just don't have the tools. I got a Papercraft decoy. That's it. Like, we're not going to, in a brute suit. So we should cut that. That's true. Probably means just put back a land and be a little prone to flood. We do have the Bearer of Memory as a sink. We don't have a ton of other sinks, though, so that's unfortunate. Like, we don't really have any. Oh, wait, I did it wrong. I want this. I hit the wrong button. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Rambandakura doesn't suck, but looks like it. That's what we've got. Kura, Boundless Sky, and I'm looking for deck names now. Farewell. Glad you liked it, Happy. Delightful is a good way to describe wet leg. Mommy, daddy. There's a line in that song, it's my favorite of like the last decade. And she delivers it with that Nico style of deadpan. Is your mother worried? Would you like us to assign someone to worry your mother? I love that. I don't know why that hits me so well, but I think that is just Chef's Kiss lyric right there. All right, let's do it. Let's see how it goes.
They should have said the poet.
Don't get cocky, Contact. All right, we can keep this. It's got stuff to do. Like, block a network disruptor so we don't get ninjutsu'd. I am so snap blocking if they don't do something about this patrol. Ooh, and we will intervene. Ooh, I was going to intervene happily, but we'll go ahead and let an exemplar attack. Maybe they'll ninjutsu, but so be it. I'm going to get my ramper going. Well, I think I just like the critter here. We could bolt the bird in the most unusual way, fading. We can fade the terminal, but with three, I think we just let him have this. Between fade and intervention, we have a lot of tools to take care of something they ramp into. So let's just add to the board. We can even just swing in for one. And then next turn we'll have both of these up if we leave Keeper around. And that's a little bit better of a fade target, in my opinion, than the terminal. Although if they come up with a second artifact, and again, they start really leveraging the second mode for card quality, then that's going to be impressive. Well, yet another fade target. The people who are like, yes, I would play two fades, are like, see? Although, you know, white is going to do that, of course, but I hear you. What are we going to do? We're going to intervene on the exemplar. That's going to be the plan there. So the question is whether we want to deal with an eventual... they get 2 life and a 2/2 first striker if we let this stick around, or we can just get our 3/2 back. They seem pretty nervous about that. We're close to starting to activate it. They're down to 1 card. I think we get our mana sink back, given that we don't have a lot of action in hand here. We got some defense, but not a lot of action. This is good action if we get a little stay a little flooded here. So that's going to be what I'm going to do. And we can leave up the intervention as well. And I'm attacking every time with the Exemplar if I'm Oppo, so I imagine we'll pick that off with the Intervention. The only question is, do we want to, or do we want to save it for, like, the Bearer? But I think, okay, they're just going to steal it. I see. Fine. So now, let's see, they can't, they have terminals, so they can activate the Bearer. That sucks. So I'm going to leave the Intervention for the Bearer, but we really just got hosed by a major 2-for-1 there. It's going to be tough to overcome, to be honest. I mean, do I have other interaction? I mean, I could just pick this thing off. But then this thing is just going to take over, right? I think at 14, we still just have to take this. But we are just getting overwhelmed by sheer numbers, too. You know, actual damage. And the Flood doesn't help. All right, well, at least we do get, they give us the opportunity to pick off the Bearer, and unfortunately, though, I really don't like this card because of how necessarily aggro you have to be for it to be any good, but guess who it's good for right now? Oppo getting us pretty solidly here, but the Bearer there remains the big long-term threat. Ugh.
We will say goodbye to flesh and
Red. Doesn't look good for the home team here in game one, but we flooded the heck out, did what we could, and between flood and getting 2-for-1 by a powerful rare, we didn't have a lot of room here. We could draw our sweeper, though. This is one of those events where I gotta train myself to not scoop early, because we could always find the reset button, right? Or, how about, or, bear with me. Bear with me. Although we're still only mostly.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We get to chump to stay alive. And then, well, we try to. They've got 2 cards we don't know about. Hopefully, we get to chump to stay alive, and then we rip our sweeper. Come on, it'll be fun, Magic Gods. Right? Sweeper on 1, up against the wall. How could I possibly win from here? Come on, Magic Gods, come on. It's a good story. Not this day. Not this day. But that is what makes the sweeper special, right? You find yourself in situations in games where it is the only out in the dang format, much less your deck. But we missed it. This is one of the worst cards in our deck, and it's fine. It's not terrible, but you don't, it's not, I'd rather run the modal pump spells that give you a different option. Well, I was going to play my ramper, and maybe I still should, but the presence of the gauntlet does at least put forth the possibility of the papercraft decoy being correct. But I think we let him have some life. We're not. I get worried about lifelink in the abstract, but I have to remember that we're a controlling deck looking to win a longer game, so we don't care too much about their life total going up by 2 to 6 or 8 here. You know, if it gets way up, it can really give them some extra turns to bring back their pressure if we turn a corner. But I still think it does not merit playing something other than our 2-mana ramp creature. Powerful start. They get to re-gauntlet there and everything, but we can fade. Let's see. Safekeeping is interesting. What about just... I was thinking I might fade this turn because of the gauntlet, but I think what we do is play papercraft decoy, and then we can hold up safekeeping and boon. And that gives us, and also we just threaten blocking, trading, and drawing with the decoy. So if they don't change anything on our side, they don't really have attacks here. And if they try to change something on their side, we get to make a 2/1 hexproof indestructible that will further prevent them from attacking. So we should be looking pretty decent here. So here you go. Like... almost. Let's see where they want to go with this. I mean, if they go decoy, we can just draw. Let them have the... Okay, they want to go there. I can let them do that and still have safekeeping mana. So I'm inclined to... But I could also just safekeep... Trouble is, if we safekeep that, yes, it becomes indestructible. It doesn't trade with anything. They still have pretty good attacks, although not really. We're still willing to 1-for-1 with decoy without them getting value. But let's... I'm going to do this. I know... You like safekeep decoy? Yeah, we can do that. Sorry, I was thinking, yeah, this is fine. And then we'll, we'll take out the thief and not the gauntlet. Don't care about the life, care about the ramp and fixing that they would get from the thief. Again, have options on the gauntlet with the fade, but just gonna repeat basically the same play with an extra land out to be able to do the same thing. Yeah, good point, Mike. We have other answers to gauntlet. Well, this screams that we're going to be ninjutsu to the point that I kind of want to block with both. I don't really care. Oh, you have so much land. The Merge Keeper is losing its usefulness, and you kill the specialist. You want to do it like this? Yeah, again, same thing, right? We can still fade the gauntlet, so we should do it this way. I like that. We could boon and... I mean, it did snap right to this, but I almost want to just... Fate is a sorcery, yeah. I kind of want to go ahead and let this happen, cash in the decoy for a card, let the keeper die, then we're just facing a Leech Gauntlet. We've got 4 cards plus a 5th that we're about to draw. I mean, some of it's land. I think that gives us a good position at this point in the game over just booning to keep either of these alive. These don't seem that valuable. So I'm going to just let it happen. We are playing some ramp and 17, so we're a little prone to flood. good, like, what, 19 of our cards have something to do with making mana. But this is a little excessive, even for that. How do you beat Silencer? Just don't have any creatures. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of the Gauntlet, though. It's something to do. The Flood meme is long, and I did it last game, so spiritual Flood meme, but I'm gonna pass on repeating it. Oh, you weren't here for that though, Sirion. Yeah, we've already been through both parts of the Flood meme today. Now, they were clearly trying to ninjutsu before, so yeah, kind of expecting it here too. Maybe, but they also... We didn't know what they had behind and what we were going to draw. We literally cleared their whole board, so... I mean, our plan got their board fully dead, and then they had more board, so okay. Too bad. Close. This is now a +3/+3 ability for this, but +3/+3 on Bearer is simply a trade for the Shadow Walker, which is a super bummer. We might have to do it, though. I mean, if we let it through, they could... I don't know what else is in their hand. They could just kill the Bearer if they wanted to, but I imagine they're just going to try to clock us with the 5-er. And yeah, oh, this is rough. Am I supposed to take this and dare them to use resources on the Bearer? Yeah, feels bad no matter what. But maybe if I untap, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nah, I'm not going to have Boon plus Bearer activation. That would be one consideration of waiting. What am I hoping to draw that rewards me for not blocking here? Right. I mean, we might be happy if they do that, and I'm also just trying to figure out what am I trying to draw to recover? Goshen, the Shrine wouldn't suck to give us some chumps. All right, let's dare them to go ahead and do that. You want a ninjutsu here? Great. But I think we need to try to find our way to more value than 2-for-1ing ourselves while flooded out against a deck that has a known backup threat. Oh, here comes the flood. I'll just perform it for you. Yeah, no real reason, but some, you know, they may have just thought, if I get rid of that Bearer with this stupid, useless thing in my hand, they have no chance. I don't know. People puzzle out things in weird ways sometimes. But this is bad. But if they send both, I actually think we block the Silencer, self-target the Bearer, make it a 4/3, eat the Silencer, never mind, behold the game loss. I did that for comedic effect, but again, I did have a sweeper, so I probably should have held around for one top deck draw to try and beat that. But it was too fun to just scoop immediately to a behold. But truly, that was bad magic. If the farewell was on top, we were just fine in that game. Cute. Very cute deck. How about we'll put the 2 most powerful cards in their deck in their opener, but then still make them want to throw it back. What do you think? We could keep this. What do we... The trouble is there's so many whammies. Any white spell is just a whammy, right? And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Well, it's not as many whammies as I thought, honestly. There's only 6 whammies. And Oppo's going first. Hey, Dan. Life's good. Can't complain. Can't we? I mean, it has an amazing 5-drop that we are definitely going to hit. I mean, it would be crazy for us to not hit this 5. And cards we'd be happy to draw. One. Let's do that. One. What am I like? Sweet, we did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I'll give you that, like, 7 is also not a lot of... I mean, there's the Plains. Plains is also yay, but we're 2 planes away from Farewell. All right, I'm going to throw it back, but it's not as... Obviously not Snap, or I would have done it already. I don't think this is a Snap. I think it was worth checking to see how many cards make me really happy and how many cards make me really sad. And there's just not enough in the really happy camp. And look at this great opener. This is much, much better, obviously. We've got, what, double greens? What have we got doubles? We've got double white and double green. We've got a little bit more. I'm going to go with keeping 2 green. Because we have more double green. And a lot of our green helps us find the double white. That was the main thing. We have green that helps find double white. We don't have any white that helps us find double green. Although we have green that makes double green. That's fair. Let's go ahead and ramp, though, right? We could get to Bearer plus Safekeeping and then Companion after that. I'm not going to block here, so I'm attacking. Yeah, I'm still just going to attack with the patrol, but we'll play Bearer and send the patrol and have Safekeeping up, and that's pretty cool. The power of the Safekeeping is in its 1-mana-ness. Very easy to disguise. Well, not to disguise it. Frankly, it's difficult to disguise because you leave 1 green mana up and Oppo knows exactly what's up. But it's great. It's easy to fill in the corners with. Fill in those gaps in your curve, and pretty easy to hold it up when it's an important aspect. Oh, interesting. Okay. Why would they tap that? Yeah, anyway. Do this. 1 mana, destroy target 3-drop. That's pretty powerful. I love it. Here, though, we're going to Companion first. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. Why you would pin... Why was it a misclick? Couldn't even be a misclick. Like, it really didn't make sense to me at all why they would choose the Merge Keeper. Although, frankly, if they suspected the Safekeeping, maybe they're just like, it doesn't really matter. If I go for the Bearer, they're going to... Although if they suspected the Safekeeping, they just wouldn't attack, right? Yeah, I don't want to offer Bearer. And next turn, we're going to be at Bearer activation levels. We can just start pumping up the patrol. If we don't get any other action, the flood continues. That's pretty hefty. Am I supposed to give up the Companion as a speed bump here? we probably have to eventually. I guess may as well do it now, but I may come up. I'm going to take it once because we may find the hot tub and replay it. Yeah. So we're going to take it at least once here because we could draw the hot tub. Antiquity Fade is good here so that we can bring this subduer back down to earth a little bit. We cut the katana, which has been good for Oppo, and then this becomes a 3/2 that attacks as a 4/3 and can at least be threatened by companion, Merge Keeper, and Bearer activation. Yeah, we can just start tapping. That's true. Are we going to get there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next turn, we'll be able to tap and fade. But yeah, I guess we can just sit here and start tapping it. Why not? We're a control deck, Ryan. Just start tapping stuff. I like it. Punish, that's the way to punish equipment too, and this well, I guess it's not a way to punish attack alone. It actually is kind of bad against attack alone because you tap the one thing and they're like, well, I'll attack alone with this other thing then, right? But it is tapping is great against equipment, as you can kind of get 2 cards for 1 in your tapping effect. But here's exactly what I'm talking about. If we tap this now, they could still send the Peerless and have it be a pretty good attack as a menacing 3/4 that lowers the cost of a spell. But again, we can tap and fade, and maybe at this point we do fade the katana and then we tap the samurai. Or maybe we don't even need to fade anything yet. Yeah, we have a keeper here. That's true. It doesn't work against this equipment. I didn't really think about that. I was just thinking about the abstract power of tapping against equipment, but this equipment does get around that. So maybe with that, yeah, we just have to pick this off. It's too good in this situation. That's actually convinced me that this is the thing to do. So good call. I think we tap the Menace here, although there's a case for just tapping the Subduer. If this attacks at a 3/4 Menace, what are we doing about it? We're just taking it. But taking 3... If we're just taking the Subduer as a 4/3, we would rather just take the 3/4. I don't think the cost reduction matters. So yeah, I'm going to actually tap the Subduer. And then we do threaten Bearer plus Companion on the Samurai. Oh, sorry, this works even with this not attacking. So yeah, we didn't really have the block there. Anyway. Trainee is a good defender here. We can even Trainee and then have both Bearer and Moth Rider. I think with their strength being in this attack alone thing, we're actually going... I might as well attack. I don't think I'm going to Moth Rider. I think we just send... Well, it might need to just... If they go wide... No, it's not... Yeah, I think we're not Moth Riding here. We're going to make them choose how to attack. And if they send everything, we have good attacks. If they blocks, if they send one, we have reasonable things to do depending on how... You know, with the Trainee and the Bearer now. And I'm not going to block with the Patrol, so I'm sending it. Oh, I forgot to do this for mine, so we'll do it for Oppo's. Hold on.
My name is Doug. I have just met you, and I love you. Squirrel!
Exactly. The fact that I intend to use the Bearer is why I attacked with the Patrol. Attacking with the patrol was me committing to the bearer as my defense against attacks move. Excuse me. That's fine. We didn't. Again, I'm a little surprised they're choosing that. Like, I don't want to block with the bearer. I want to block with the trainee. So I'm glad they did not tap the trainee. We do this. We put a counter on the trainee. The trainee lives. The companion dies, but it's great. This is... If they don't have anything else here, this is great for our plan. Oh, it's an enchantment creature. Well, so does this matter even? I keep screwing that up on the bearer. So now we can't. But it looks like they put the trainee or the companion first anyway. And I could put it on the companion, but the companion still dies. It doesn't change anything. So actually, I shouldn't do anything. And Oppo making, I guess, O2 choices here as far as I'm concerned. I don't understand some of Oppo's choices at this point. Although I'm not criticizing you, Oppo. I just misread my bearer of memory for the 27th time in the format. So I'm just saying, though, I'm confused. Yeah, we're going to use the bearer, and we'll throw it on the bearer. That's all we got. But maybe that puts me back to, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're very close to bearer plus tapping. Once we get to there, it's going to be tougher for Oppo. But Oppo probably is going to figure it out this time and not fall for the trainee thing. But not much to do. I'm going to play the land because we are trying to get to literally 10 land. Maybe I need to figure out which one to block, like, or one to what's correct to tap here. I guess we have to tap the menace because if we don't have to, if we tap the menace, at least we have single blocks with whatever they end up attacking with. Oh, that's great because I was going to tap that anyway. Hello, Farewell. Hello. No super value in this Farewell currently, and in fact, given that we're stable tapping the Samurai, right now Oppo's not attacking us in this spot, so we're going to hold pass, and if they do... Yeah, we just look for another land, and then we can start doing... Once we can tap and bear, then we're in control, and we're the one with inevitability. But right now, we seem to be in tap and hold. Oppo overcommitting. Oppo playing exactly how I would, trying to get ahead on this board. But it's going to hopefully give us a better recovery plan on the Farewell. And yeah, if we're going to Farewell, we should go ahead and try to make these types of trades. They're going to throw stuff around. Here we do have the Tapper Bearer now. So let's give it another round at 10. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not being dumb. We have we tap this, and then they can still attack. They can either go wide, which would be fine. So they're not going to go wide. They're going to send the Samurai. Samurai, if we blocked, it's going to be bigger than we want to block, but we can let it through. So like we could take one and give them one more chance to empty hand into the Farewell. I think that's worth doing. This might be a little greedy, but I'm not trying to... I'm trying to actually get a little more greedy so that we can really try to get ahead after we Farewell. can't block if we tap. Why not? Yeah, I tapped the flyer, but then I don't understand why you're saying we can't block from there. But I guess you'll show me. Oh, they tapped the 4D. Thank you. Yeah. This is complicated. Sorry, I just keep forgetting that the subduer. So then, but then we're just chumping and we untap and farewell. So as long as we don't die, though, we're good. So let's tap the flyer and see how they want to play it. If they send everything, that's good for us. If they send the 1, they get through and we can't stop it, but it's not devastating. Five. Yeah, sorry, I miscounted that too. But this is fine. As fine as it can be. Go ahead. Come on, one more creature. And that doesn't suck. Let's go. Except it's we have the mana, but we can't attack. We can still get the play in though. Put a counter on? Nah. I guess I should have. There's no reason not to, but we're totally doing this. So we start here. Oh wait, that's also attack. Hold on. We have, think about your dang turn, Ryan, for crying out loud. It's going to telegraph it, but we'll send the bearer and the Moth Rider, and then do the thing. Yeah, Oppo kind of sniffing it out there, figuring that if I'm making that attack, it's probably to blow up the world. And you're right, Oppo, it is. Whatever. Obviously, the vigilance is just so important here. Being able to pressure Oppo while still defending is all the difference in applying a clock versus being stalled and waiting to try to find an angle. I'm going to hold the land for now. I don't think we have rummaging, but I don't see any reason not to, or reason to play it. Yeah, I kind of want this to be 16, but honestly, part of the problem is, oh, this is super sneaky, because they got to try for a double block here. But we just don't have a lot of options. It's the question is always over what, and our over what is pretty rough. I think in this case, it's also like it's a control deck, so we're intentionally going deeper into our deck, which is going to produce more of our lands. But it is a deck with 17 lands, a Tanuki, and a Merge Keeper. So, you know, it's almost half the cards in the deck have something to do with producing mana. Well, this is makes me feel like we're dead, honestly, with the way Oppo's played this. So my expectations here are that we die to some sort of damage-based thing. I don't think this matters more than this, per se, so let's go for the 7-tail. But I think we're probably dead. I'm expecting pump on the 2/2. Oh yeah, 2 life. Sorry, yeah, I forgot that. But this is good so far. Maybe, I don't know what's going on here. Oppo continues to confuse me a little bit. But maybe they're just setting up between these 3 cards and this mirror breaker flip. Ah, there we go. Ooh, not a bad draw. We get to swing in, drop the Fang, and have something to block this now buffed up 5/4 with besides our 4/5. At least Kiki here is summoning sick. Uh-oh, that's a lot of mana. What are you doing? What are you doing, Oppo? You gonna 0-3 me? Are we done? Thought this deck was alright. Yeah. Check it out, gang. Some days are better than others. How are you gonna handle it?
Ain't that a
That's
kick
us.
in the head?
Jeez. Yeah, I did, but much like last week, I'm taking it well. That's all I can ask for, really, is to take my losses better. I mean, we did not have the best draft. I married a color early. Or it apparently did. Maybe that was just destined to happen. I think sometimes kind of what happened there for us is we went... I mean, the first 3 picks we made... I guess the third one was a hedge to the Twisted Embrace, right? But we went white card, hedge, white card. So 3 of our first 4 picks were white, and they were good cards. It was tough to break away from that, and I don't know if I missed a sign somewhere in that pack 1, pick 5 to the pack wheeling, where I was supposed to identify that white was... I was supposed to get away from it, but I don't think the data would have been... It was been too tough at that point whether to know we were seeing that we were being cut or the packs were just light with white cards. And then... but then it really dry... Like, it's one thing if it were dry to the right, but then in pack 2 it was also dry to the left. So maybe... And somewhere in pack 2 is when we saw that blue was pretty open, I think. Or was it late pack 1? Maybe it was that, yeah, I think maybe late pack 1, when the Circuit Ninja wheeled was like pack 1, pick 10. We even took it and noted it. And I think on a better day, we really note that and say, look, it's clear that blue is open. This card does not make it to pick 10 if blue isn't open. So let's just... let's go ahead and pivot into blue, or really look to pivot into blue, and maybe we could have gotten it from there. But then we pack 2, pick 1, the green Mythic Dragon. So that was really compelling to stay in green. So then what are we going to get? Green, blue splash white? I don't know. Anyway. Swivel Cut's telling me I got an Aragorn day going. Good. That's Aragorn is the goal. It's not always hit, but that's the target. We certainly noted that there was no oath coming. We saw no oaths. Did that feel like an 0-3 deck? I rarely have a deck that feels like an 0-3 deck. I mean, even when I train wreck, I expect that there's enough going on at the top end that I can probably find a win. It just, but at the same time, any deck can be an 0-3 deck. We flooded out, I flooded out heavily in the first game, played both sides of the flood meme, declined to play both sides of the flood meme in the second game, and kind of got floody in the third game too, and acknowledged that the land count was on the higher side, or the mana cards that make mana was on the higher side, but you know, if I think I've already lost the deck or whatever, but there just wasn't, unless we were going to do some splashing, there was not much to do in the board, and the splashing was not impressive. So we're going to say, hey, perfect storm of a tough to navigate but misnavigated draft, or likely misnavigated. I have to go back through and see if there was any, like, there was the point. You could have seen that, Ryan, right? I haven't done that, but I feel like it was probably, you could find some points in the draft that we could have done better, had some bad luck, and opponents did some reasonable things, so we 0-3'd. All right. I guess that's tough on the old make it to diamond before next time. Yeah, 0-3 is pretty quick, I acknowledge, but my life is pretty bonkers right now. I would not mind the extra time, but I can see if let's see if there's something in progress. I'm gonna let's check a side account. Tell you what, D, I'll think about that one and answer it on my 50th birthday or whatever stream is nearest to it. Let's start here. April 7th is my birthday. I don't know. I can't remember what day of the week that is. Is it Thursday? Friday? Wednesday? Someday. You can see how deeply I've planned for my 50th birthday. All right, we got something going on here. This has been okay, but has some weak points in the name of getting the artifact and enchantment count up. I don't love these two. So this is kind of medium, but it's got some stuff going on. Without splashing, what could we play instead? Yeah, see, like, maybe I'm supposed to just play an intervention. Torment. Maybe Torment should be in instead of something like Befriending. No, I stream Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. Although, well, yeah, I might stream all 5 days that week just for a birthday week special or something. Yeah, let's get the Torment in over even like Befriending, which again, if it's like top end of an aggro curve. I like this, but I really don't like it here. Or even just I could play an Exemplar that is aggressive but does something on defense as opposed to the Befriending and is an enchantment. Like we could play that over even something like a Moth Rider Patrol, which I think is the better card, but piling on the yeah, actually I kind of like that too. Although I like Moth Rider in because of the double Prowler. Prowling on turn 2 is nice. And we do have 2 Clawing Torments in. I guess that's why I cut one. Yeah, that's why I cut it here. Let's try this, though. I think I like the Moth Rider over the Exemplar because of the ninjas we have. Because this is a ninjutsu on 2 as well. So I'm going to keep it like this. But that centipede is pretty whatever, I acknowledge. Maybe, like, let's check my split. 7 artifacts, 7 enchantments. If I swapped it, it would be 8 enchantments, 6 artifacts. What do you think? Centipede for the even split, or the better card but a slightly uneven split? You just want to put this in and cut one of the torments? That's fair too. Then we're at 7/7 still. All right, let's try this then. That's fair. Yeah, so 5. That's, you've identified the minimum, but it's certainly nice to have more. Just because 5/6 is the minimum doesn't mean I necessarily want to cut centipede for something like intervention, but maybe it does. We'll keep an eye on it and give this a shot at any rate. But we're 3-2, looking to inch our way to profit, but we have no fouls to give, so. Update this accordingly. We are 3-2 with this one. All right. We're going to try and fail to live the dream of ninjutsuing a spirited companion back with an Izumi Prowler. But if it works, oh boy. To companion into Prowler if possible. Doesn't look like it's going to be... Oh, you're late, Raid. Although I really couldn't have cast it on one anyway, so never mind. You're fine, Raid. You're fine. What do we even want to do? Now I kind of want to do Exemplar, since it can attack and threaten to... and Living Lore is not going to be blocking the Exemplar, whereas Companion doesn't have attacks here. So let's be grown-ups and play the Exemplar. Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong place, sorry. Thanks for the reminder. One sec.
Ain't that a kick in the head?
Boom indeed. Brutal reminder of our last exit. Well, likely can ninjutsu this turn if we want. Oppo gonna put a counter on their shrine and not block with it. Choked on black. We really want to cast a black spell this turn. But let's start with the Exemplar attack and then decide whether we want to ninjutsu or not. There's no ninjutsuing that's going to happen that doesn't need black, so I can just attack and then see. To prowl or not to prowl? With this hand, I'm going to say no, because we can go Spirited Companion Reckoner Raid, and that's a fine little sequence here.
My name is Doug. I have just met you, and I love you. Squirrel!
I really don't like threatening to block. Too much can go wrong. They play a 4-mana bounce your creature, and then you've done nothing. They blow out a block. Given that we have lifelink capabilities and drain going on and removal and all, I just like racing. Okay, this is hopeful. Do we get to live the dream? Attempting to live target dream. Oh, baby. Mike says exemplar only. Mike, I got dreams to live, buddy. Dream still successfully lived, dang it. Gonna go ahead and draw again off of companion here. No artifacts in sight right now for Naomi. Maybe we'll find one soon. I had one. Maybe that's a reason actually to have put lifelink on the exemplar, because maybe they would have gone for the exemplar. Yeah. Gonna swamp it up here, of course. We have Naomi for nothing, but now I think we want to save our land for the incoming shrine. What's this? What do we got here, though? Is this gonna mess us up? Put it along and activate as a sorcery. Excuse me. So they can't do that here, so we're not worried about that now. Maybe we need to ink it before they do dumb things. But also, maybe we just ink the flipped saga. What does this do again? Return target. Yeah, but then they can just return it. Yeah, so they get it back. So probably do need to kill this before we kill other stuff, or they're just gonna keep getting it back. So does this need inking right now, like emergency inking? Well, if we raid here, then we can't ink the living lore. But maybe we don't care yet. This is going to flip. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Alexis, that if we're going to kill this, if this is going to eat an ink, it's got to do so now. Menace attack. Well, we can't attack. That's summoning sick. This has haste, right? So that's not the best, but that's what, yeah, Yeah, I'm going to send this. And ink. If they want to reset the master, that's fine. Yeah, I was gonna use the. Yeah, maybe I did that wrong. Sorry. I don't know. I actually kind of misread this card. I think I would do it differently now. That was because then I could have done the raid too. Yeah, I screwed that turn up. You all are right. I was wrong. I just didn't. You know, it's magic. That line didn't properly click in my brain, and I didn't do it. I'm gonna take this though. So now I've made my job harder. Let's see. Again, no complaints here. You know, if I lose this game, well, I've certainly identified one place where I helped that happen. Now this is getting out of range of this. It's all just obvious that I pretty screwed up that turn pretty badly, actually. This doesn't have trample, so we can start making chumps at least for the 5-er. And block plus a seat does get the job done. Let's see. We go Shrine plus activation plus raid buys us. I think the thing is we need to get this dead sooner. Like, I think we go raid. Yeah, it's true. Let's see if they block. But the trouble is I need the companion back to complete my plan, which is to go seat plus companion equals dead 5/5 before it can become a 6/6. So I hear you on trying to get them to block, but that is fraught with peril. I'm going to send the captain and get in because I'm not blocking with it. But I think I really need to just set up for the seat plus companion block turn. Taking a lot here because I can't block the 5/5 and we are getting trampled. So we're like taking 9. But we do end up with a spot where we can then stabilize. The other thing to do could be to do the same play on the 5/5, but then we need a way to take out a 6/6. Well, this already has trample, and this isn't. Well, this could become, but they don't have 6 yet. I mean, it is what it is. We are where we are, which is probably going to lose because of my poor life decisions. But I'm going to take the best shot I think I've got here. If they don't have a 6th land, we're not dead. If they do, we're kind of dead. And we're in double chump mode regardless, so looks like a lot of losing on stream today. But again, if I'm keeping my head about it, it's really winning. Let's draw that farewell. Oh, wait, that's not this deck. Ha! Your Death Toucher is completely neutralized, Oppo. Suck it. Close to actually like threatening real trades and stabilizing, but in the end, not quite. Let's chump and eat. Looks like ninjutsu here, maybe, or maybe they're just doing whatever. Yeah, we did count 7, right? 7 artifacts. One of those days, gang. One of those days. And yet, somehow, still not fully dead. We're going to chump the 5/5, and I'll make these spectacular legal magic plays. Left and right with the legal magic plays. Nice. Even locked up the win right there. Good job, Oppo. You had us pretty fully anyway, but way to end it as quick as possible. Well, at least I had some wins with this deck. But I'm in good spirits and can take the beatings with a smile today, at least. It's not every day for me that I'm able to lose even in it. Again, being on air helps. It's like being at a party. I gotta be on my best behavior. I'm at a party as opposed to alone where I'd be scaring the dog. But maybe not. I'm really trying to be better about that, even in my, because why punish the dog because I failed to win a game of Magic? Clawing Torment is a pretty swingy card. So it seemed awful there, but it depends on what you're doing. It's better in aggro. It adds to, the reason it's absolutely best in aggro is that it's doing some damage, it's clearing a blocker, and it is mitigating the fact that the opponent can do something about the enchantment and make use of the creature in the long game by trying to end the game quickly. So obviously it's at its home, at its best in a very aggressive black deck, but it has synergies as an enchantment, and the format is just full of X1s that are relevant. It frequently just finds something to pick off that you're quite happy to pick off for 1 mana. Because when you're only paying 1, it doesn't feel that bad to pick off the Hawk, whatever, the flying Samurai, or the flying 1/1 artifact in the Ninja decks, or we were playing a bunch of 2/1s, and there's just, the deck is there's all these artifact 2/1s that do cool things. Anyway, but it's got a floor of uselessness, and it's not going to be at its best in a mid-range deck like that one, where it was kind of in there because of the artifact enchantment synergies. But as you even saw right there, since we're not trying to close out the game ASAP, it does give your opponent time to do something to mitigate the enchantment you've thrown on their creature. And ideally, you don't mess around. You just use it to kill an X1. But when it's not doing one of those things, it's going to look real bad, like it did right there. Well, a lot of losing today. Thanks for sticking with me despite that. I'm going to, with no raid captain, find somebody for you myself then. Lola, alias Lavinius. Tupperware. I haven't raided Tupper in a while, or Jim Davis. Not Jim. Oh, he's hosting. He's hosting. Never mind. Well, I'd send you to Lavinius, but it looks like she's brewing. So Tupperware is pretty safe for some drafting action. We'll send you there. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Hope you had some fun despite the lack of W's. Enjoy your time with Tups, and we'll catch you Wednesday. Bye, everybody.